Hello, beautiful souls. How are you doing? It's July 15th, 2023. Um, I had plans. That's where I messed up. I had plans to do a different recording today, and woke up super nauseated from energy upgrades. And with that upgrade, with that came some downloads. And they the downloads that came in today really needed to be put out today. Source team says, yep, this needs to go first. The downloads I got yesterday really fall in line better after today's video. So, as always, Source being my party planner, he knows um, the proper plan for my videos, and I abide. So, today's video is about enforcing boundaries, and it has come up several times. I have other content that covers it, but I do plan on covering it in a way today that is a little different, definitely source guided. So, if you've been around for a little bit, awake, tuned in, understanding that there's some things happening on a galactic level, definitely lots of energies that come in, whether you are aware of it or not. It is affecting us, okay, in a positive way by and large, but the byproduct is these ascension symptoms. It's also um targeting certain chakras and certain star seeds because we have work to do. We think that we're done, or we have compartmentalized certain aspects of our life, feeling like we are done because we don't want to give that any energy. But that doesn't mean that you're healed from it. It doesn't mean that you've actually gone through the shadow work of the event. And still having that negative energy, still having that shadow, still having that kind of looming in the background does prevent us from fully embodying our fifth dimension higher timeline. So, with the masses of the energies coming in, it's really important now because more and more people are affected, and more people are saying, like, what the heck is going on? Why am I feeling this way? Why can't I not feel this way? Like, what can I do about it? So, enforcing the boundaries, but for a very specific group of people. This talk is really for all star seeds. If you think you might be a star seed, this talk is for you. If you know you are a star seed and you've been, navigating that journey for a while, this talk can still be for you. But it definitely came in as a Starseed Lightworker collective type message, which I verified with my team and my source creator. So I hope that you find this information helpful, and you can start to put things into place that help you navigate the energies and keep choosing your highest and best timeline, because that's what it's all about. So there are three energetic aspects that we have to fully encompass in a balance in order to properly anchor our energy. Within us all, doesn't matter whether you're a female body, a male body, or a child, we all within us have a percentage of divine feminine, divine masculine, and that inner child energy. Now, there are certainly people that are way out of whack. As a collective, the divine masculine has been pushed forward in such a grotesque way because it basically had the foot on the neck of the divine feminine and oppression and abuse of the inner child. And that is absolutely not in harmony. It's not in balance, and it's not how it's created. It's not how the energies were created to work. And I will illustrate that. The divine feminine characteristics are fertility, creativity, and intuition. That's what divine feminines bring to the table in their energetic flow. Divine masculines bring leadership, taking charge. They're doers more than beers. You know, they want to they want to create with their hands, and some, like the divine feminines, are creating the vision of their ultimate highest timeline, sharing that with their divine masculine, incorporating the inner child exuberance, and that's how you manifest that highest and best timeline. There's a lot of pieces to that that people are completely discounting. So, inner child. If you, let's just go back for a second. Divine feminine over here in this cup. Fertility, creativity, intuition. Divine masculine in this cup. Leadership, taking charge, and a doer. There's a lot of characteristics that I didn't mention that are required. And we find them in the glue. The love that binds is within our inner child. With the inner child energy, we have trust, innocence, curiosity, joy, boldness, clarity, wonder, playfulness, and a sense of oneness. That is the meat on the bones, right? Like you've got the structure support of that divine masculine, and you've got the creation support of the divine feminine. But where's the motivation? Where's the joy? Where's the bliss? Where's the things that our soul sings to, right? That energizes our core from within. That's all coming from our inner child energy. So if you are like completely type A, and you are writing out the checklist, and you are do, and you have forgotten that there's supposed to be joy, and there's supposed to be bliss, there's supposed to be a level of curiosity and playfulness, all these things, you're out of balance. If you're one of those divine masculines that really feel like the divine feminine's place is in the kitchen and, just raising the kids, but not to be heard, you're definitely out of balance and out of time, to be quite frank, because the divine feminine resurgence is super powerful. And it's all been part of the divine plan of Source Creator and Mother Sophia, because it was never meant to be put on the back burner. It was never meant to be silenced. It was never meant to be shamed. That was all part of a patriarchal cabal plan to keep us in a slave mentality, where we always feel beholden to the, ego man that is around us calling the shots, whether it be our mayors, our governors, our presidents, our whatever, or in your home, your husband, the oldest brother, or whatever the culture, might be the oldest male in the family, whatever they say goes, and they have no context of what's really happening on the inside of all of their family members and what they actually bring to the table, because they never open themselves up to hear it. So that's the balance, right? That's the harmony struggle that people are currently navigating. They're having to overcome the intentional ignorance of the divine feminine, because it was cut out and suppressed from a lot of our history. So we're learning things we should have known all along. And deep down in our core, we really knew, but we didn't know, right? We had a sense of things, but now we're finding out the truth. So now we get to marry the divine feminine and the divine masculine within all of us, while healing the inner child. That's where we get our trust back. So, like I said before, the controllers have abused and oppressed the inner child and the children. And so there's a lot of trust that's been lost. There's a lot of innocence that's been lost. There's a lot of joy that's been ruined. So we have to heal that inner child in order to be able to blossom in a trusting, innocent, curious, joyful, playful, wondrous, bold adult. It doesn't matter what your chronological age is. Your inner child can be wounded and completely traumatized and just fractured as fuck. So if you're unable to even think about the last time that you were playful, or that you really don't have any trust of anyone, probably not even of yourself, you have inner child shadow work to do. So you may be able to take charge and tell people what to do and construct stuff. But if you do not have the ability to trust, have a curious joy about things, understand that we don't know everything, a playful nature, that unity consciousness, one, like, hey, I don't know it all, but you probably want to learn with me. Let's do this together. This will be fun. Like if you're unable to even resonate with any of that, you got shadow work to do. This is what's coming through. This is a message that needs to be received. If it resonates within your soul, it's for you. That's all I can tell you, because I don't get woken up this deliver this message, download when it's not needed by the collective. Fully accepting and grounding your mission requires all three. Now, why is this a Starseed Lightworker video? Why isn't this just for Joe Smith that's not a Starseed? Because Starseeds and Lightworkers raised their hand a long, long time ago, and they said, I will go down back to third dimension from a higher dimension, and I will help elevate and anchor Christ consciousness on earth. I will help save humanity from themselves. So in order to do that, we came into this existence, this incarnation over and over and over again to develop the skills that we needed to fully understand all three: divine masculine, divine feminine, and the inner child. I can tell you from my own experience, knowing what I know, I am divine masculine. The majority of my incarnations in my past lives have been male, very dominant male. My twin flame is divine feminine. In this life, we chose to come into this planet, this third dimensional planet. He came in as male. I came in as female. Why, you may ask? And I'm not the only one, and it has nothing to do with sexual preference. Go do your research. Because, like I said before, the controllers use the male figure as their apex predator of humanity, right? They were carrying out a very coordinated attack on the divine feminine and the inner child across the collective. So Source Creator and Mother Sophia, creatrix of all life, says, enough of this. No one wants a male figure in charge anymore, because they have done a piss poor job of maintaining sovereignty and alignment to Source Creator. They have sold out, and let their ego really drive this, collective humanity almost to the point of extinction. So leaders of New Earth, Hunamatea is the name for New Earth. Leaders of Hunamatea are going to be by and large in female form. Why? The divine feminine is rising up, taking our place that we should have had all along as a harmonious leader of energy, so that we can bring back the power of the divine feminine fertility, creativity, and the intuition to use our discernment, not be bamboozled like all the dudes because they just think, ooh, this looks good and I can make a lot of money. Let's do it, with no regard of what's happening to the divine feminine and what's happening to the children on this planet. And I would love for you to be able to prove me wrong, but I don't think you can. So as our divine creator saw all, knows all, he knows. Mother, Father, God is very aware of what the collective need and how the collective will thrive and how to fill in the voids that almost cost us our entire existence to enable us to be successful. And that is a completely healed and balanced divine feminine, divine masculine, and inner child, working in harmonious, energetic support from the divine and the galactic for the greater good. Completely possible. I know it may sound like things you've never heard of before, but with just a little bit of courage and a lot of faith, you can do this. You can absolutely do this. So let's start. There's no room for jealousy. There's no room for saying, you know, my mission as a starseed is better, more important than your mission as a starseed. Our mission as a ground crew is more important than your mission as a ground crew. No. Remember, unity consciousness, oneness, fifth dimensional energy. We lose the judgment. We lose the jealousy. We lose that duality crux of us versus them. That falls away. There's no room for it in fifth dimensional life because the frequency won't allow it. Those are low vibrational, low frequency producing points of view and emotions, thoughts, and feelings. No space for that in fifth dimension. That's why if you're still thinking those things, whether you verbalize them or not, if they're still coming up into your mind from your being, you've got more shadow work to do. If you still think in any type of hierarchy, if you still have judgment of maybe some other missions because you just can't see the point or whatever the case may be, you have shadow work to do because we all in harmonious balance co-create the highest timeline that we're meant to, that we volunteered for on a soul level. So playing the what if game is a waste of energy. It keeps you on a negative loop. It keeps you producing low vibrational energy for the darkness. They love it. That's why they love to see this doubt. And we as starseeds, we volunteered. We were chosen to come down here and succeed, not come down here and what if ourselves to death. That when you're what ifing the mission that your soul volunteered for, it is your ego. It is your ego saying, from a very narrow perspective of trying to satisfy the id, what can we do to make the id be quiet? Because this other stuff is too uncomfortable. Let's just satisfy the id at all costs. Let's just do what we need to do to get out of this. That's not going to get you anywhere, but on the trajectory of old earth, which is not successful. From a personal perspective, we should not be looking at the mission in terms of what is this mission going to do for me? That's service itself. If you were thinking about the mission that your soul volunteered for before you ever incarnated on this planet, about how it's going to make your life better and not really considering how it's going to help humanity, you got shadow work to do, babe. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're not there. And I'll add, this just dropped into my head, there's a whole host of people that feel like they're on this humanitarian mission and we're going to save all the veterans and we're going to save all the animals and we're going to do all these things with clean water and bike trails and all this kind of stuff. And yet they are chomping at the bit for vindication, for punishment, for accountability of all the people that have done us wrong. They want to see them get. You got to let that go. You got to let that go. That is a dark agenda that you're wanting to see played out. Am I for all the people that made decisions that cause harm having their accountability, having the consequences to those decisions? I absolutely am. I absolutely am. But I am also not the one to decide their fate. And I will not be a part of, I'm not going to be judging. I have been. I've done that before. I've evolved from that. I'm not judging. It's not for me to judge. You see, because now I understand things on a whole different level. I understand that some people come into this planet and they were inherently good and they had a soul contract to do good things, but they also soul contracted to have harmful things done to them. I understand that good beings came into this world and were mine warped. MK the ultra is what I'm referring to. There are things that have been done to people by others' free will choice that completely change the trajectory of their life. So it is not for me, nor is it for you, to sit back in judgment of any kind, of any other being. It's not for us to do. Participating in that is very low vibrational and definitely pulls down your frequency. So try your very, very best to let the judgment go. Realize that all of Source Creator and Mother Sophia's beings on the planet deserve forgiveness, because that is what Christ consciousness is about. There's nothing a light being, there's nothing a soul can do, there's nothing a soul being can do that Source and Mother Sophia will turn their back on them. So if we are in their image, then that needs to be our mantra too. The mission is always fluid, and it's based on that deep, deep-seated energetic pull on our soul. What is going to really make our soul sing? That's the goal. The goal is that in fifth dimensional living, you are working at something that brings you so much joy and so much bliss and fills your cup up, that 20 or 30 hours a week that you are supposed to be doing that, you're gonna have to be forced to not do it because it's gonna feel so good. I don't know any jobs like that. Really. I mean, I get sat down on this. I don't feel like this is work either. Most of the time I put in a lot of hours and I don't feel like it's work. It's very enjoying for me at this moment in time. So I get a glimpse of that. I get a little glimpse of what that's going to be like. But the majority of my life, that's not been the case. And I mean, if that's been the case for you, kudos. You know, I'm envious. But for most of us, we're not toiling away at something that brings us so much bliss and joy and positivity that that we have to be kind of like forced off the project or rest. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Most of the important boundaries come from within, and most people disregard that inner gnosis and the inner dialogue. I hear a lot of people say, well, I don't know, I think it's just my thoughts. Well, it feels like your thoughts because it's coming from within, but it doesn't mean it's not coming through from Source Creator or your guides or your angels or your archangels. So achieving the mission goals is utilizing all of our support system and trying our very, very best to balance out the energies of divine feminine, divine masculine, and inner child. Okay? So when we really start to tune in and you start to pay attention to these messages that are coming through, you may say, well, I thought it was just my mind. It was just my own thoughts. And it could be, it may present that way. It depends on your abilities. So a claircognizant is going to have like a thought pop into their head, but really have no idea where it came from. And also no real context of where the information would have come through. It literally drops in from the divine. Clairaudience would hear it. They would hear the voice, the message. Clairsentients feel it in their body, like they feel cold chills, or they feel their whole body, like full body tingles, like that kind of stuff. The clairvoyants will see a vision, and many of us have multiple clairs, and we have that holographic thing going on with a vision and also the knowing that goes with it, or maybe the voice. So accepting that and starting to have that level of communication is the first thing. And the first thing to be able to do that is you have to clear out all the negative junk from your energy bodies. If you need to do that, contact me for a QET session. The link will be in the description of this video. So acknowledging that the mission that your soul volunteered for is causing, if it's causing stress or anxiety, it's your ego. It's a couple of things, but mainly it's your ego, because the ego is the attachments to the slave mentality, and it's the attachments to the matrix. The ego develops in infancy. It's not something we bring from past lives, like our soul knowledge. The ego is just about this incarnation, whatever life you've had. And it's about pacifying the id, keeping the id happy at all costs, sacrificing your own highest and best good for the id. Now, it's funny, not funny, like they have nothing, there's no coincidences, right? I know this now. When I was doing my research on this real quick, because quite frankly, psychology and sociology was a long, long time ago, 20 years ago. I wanted to look up the id and the ego and the superego and just kind of peruse it real quick. And it's funny, the illustration, there was a black devil in a bubble, and underneath it had the id. And in the center was a black outline of a man with his hands up and like fist clenched hands up. And that's the ego, the control freak. And now on the other side, there's a image of an angel wings in a bubble. And under that said super ego. So in the middle with the ego, it said, yeah, y'all have great ideas, but they all have to come through me. And it was really, really like, aha, yes. The id serves the darkness. That's why they have an illustration of the devil. The id does not give two shits about how you're aligning to your soul's contract with divine source creator. It doesn't. So everybody listening to their ego and saying, you got to have your ego. The ego keeps you alive. It does not. I mean, at a certain point, you have to realize that your brain knows it's fire and you should probably not put your hand in it. That wasn't your ego. Matter of fact, the flip side is your ego might tell you, oh, that fire's not going to burn you. Show them how strong you are. And then you get burned anyway. You go, oh, well, now they at least know you're not a coward. Stuff like that. That dialogue serves no purpose but the darkness. Fear, shame, blame, guilt, victim mentality, slave mentality, all that shit is ego. All of it. So if just thinking about the divine mission, you raised your hand on a soul level energy, I want to do that, and you got chosen to succeed, and now you're in this earthly creation, this matter that you chose, and the family that you chose, and the soul contract that you designed, and the reality of your divine mission is giving you fear, anxiety, stress, whatever. It's your ego. Shadow work. You got to tell your ego, shut up. Shut up. You do not drive this train. Get in the back. Choosing instead to ground your energy that as a column of light. So you go through, you clear, you don't have any negative distortions. All of your chakras are aligned and open. And the flow through your crown from divine source creator goes straight through your column of light. Your column of light is then fully supported and grounded all the way to Earth's core. That is our column, our light pillar, our energy pillar. And that is how we ground ourselves. And that's how we know from the depth of Earth to the height of source, we are in alignment. It resonates. You know it. As much as you know, this is the nose on your face, that kind of thing. Like there is no debate about it. You ground to the love of Mother Earth. You ground to the love of Source Creator, and you ground through your heart chakra, so your love. And through love, you then see everything on an open perspective, on a perspective that is source light driven, not a perspective that feeds the darkness, which is the ego. We don't wake up on Earth knowing how to handle all these aspects, but we are not alone. Although the controllers want you to think you've been alone and that no one is here for you because you're cray, right? That's what they say. When you start tapping into your intuition and you're really connecting to your divine feminine, and you are super excited about it because you're healing your inner child and you're starting to get that curiosity and that wonder and that playfulness, and the burden of the chaos of life no longer makes you feel oppressed. You're not giving it any attention. The controllers don't want that. They never wanted that. They never wanted that. They wanted you to be ignorant and look to them for all the answers, not question them, and just keep towing the line. Keep getting along to get along, right? No, that's going to keep getting you what you got. The definition of insanity is keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. If you're watching my videos, I am encouraging you to change it up all the time. Constant soul evolution, constant communication with your guides, constantly reevaluating your inner circle. Take an inventory of the people, places, and things that you do energy exchanges with. Are they in your best interest? I don't care who they are. I don't care what they provide for you. If they are energy vampires, if they are just taking, and leaving you with vapors, it's up to you to decide if you're important enough to cut that shit out. So we ask for help and support from our spirit team. Everyone has, by birthday, an archangel or 2 or 3, depending on the day you were born. Everyone has fire dragons. Everyone has an entire team of celestial and galactic influence that is all loving and positive and benevolent for your highest and best good, for the life that you actually volunteered for, starseeds, to help you. The ego is going to tell you, we don't need help. We got this. Not true. Do you really believe that in the core of your being? It is there for you. You have to ask. Law of consent. Figure out who your angels and archangels are. I have a document that is searchable. We figure out who people's angels and archangels are all the time. Would have been nice to know as a child, but now we know and we're sharing it out as much as we can. We give you the tools. All you have to do is accept it. Accept it in as co-creating your highest and best timeline instead of giving all your power away to people who don't give a shit about you. They only want to achieve their goals using you. Again, free will choice. When you call in the assistance of your spirit team to sum everything up, your angels, your archangels, your ascendant masters, source creator, Mother Sophia, your guides, your dragons, when you ask for that, that information does come to you. Then, free will choice, what are we going to do with it when it gets here? Your ego is telling you, yeah, that's too uncomfortable. We're not going to do that. You have to decide, are you deserving of advancing your life, your soul, your evolution of your path to the path that you actually volunteered for or not? Because your ego is going to just sit you down and tell you to keep doing what you've been doing because that's what's best for us. There's a lot of choices that we make along the way that's why I say there's like this wobble thing, right? Because every choice we make throughout the day, are we course correcting further in alignment to our soul contract and source creator? Are we moving further away, listening to our ego and the id and the negative AI who want us to participate so that we give, and we never get anything in return? So when you're a clear energy field, that happens after you have a session when you clear out and transform all the negative energy. So you're a clear column of light, and you are responsible then on maintaining your energy field, keeping it clear. So you want to make sure that where you send your energy is from a responsible place, and also you want to make sure that you're not receiving energy from an irresponsible place. So to initiate this, you're going to ask and seek help to clear and seal your chakras, and also we have, practices where we do daily clearing and shielding and protection. So this is going to take a little bit of work on your part, right? And it should, because everything worth having, you do have to put forth some effort, okay? Recognize that our effects on the earth when encountering certain people, places, and things cause us to make decisions, whether we're in alignment to source creator or fall out of alignment to source creator. Establishing the self-care routine, which actually all of us were, unless a small minority of people that were raised by other star seeds and were like in tune. But most of us were taught that we come last, that we should give all day and all night, every day, every week, of every month, of every year. And that asking for anything for ourselves is just selfishness. And that's not really true. It's not really true. What we need to do is know that we are deserving of all the love, compassion, kindness, and empathy that we are so free to give to other people, encouraged to give to other people. We deserve that too. Not only do we deserve it, but it's really in our best interest and all those around us to have self-care, to give ourselves self-love, to self-heal, to really be in tune to our energy, so that when we decide to help others, we're able to help from a place of power and light instead of a place of darkness and shadows and vapors. Think about that. Where are you actually giving from? Your intentions may be great, but your power may be completely depleted. You may have nothing to actually give, and leaves you feeling worse. These are our responsibilities as sovereign souls, to clear our energy field, then maintain our energy field, and then use that energy for the greater good. There's just a few things we have to do to break these bad, non-serving habits. And it all starts with our free will choice, to understand that we have an entire soul contract to honor. We have a spirit team here for us. All we have to do is ask for help. Like, I don't know how to guide. I don't know how to navigate this thing that's come up in my life, but I know that I'm not alone. I'm just going to go into meditation. I'm going to ask my spirit team to give me the guidance that I need. It's going to be given to you in a way that you can interpret it, a way that you can digest it. You know why? Because your higher self is always in your highest and best good and in place of neutrality. And they are the gatekeepers of information. Your higher self determines what you can tolerate, what you can accept, what is good for you, from a place of neutrality, knowing all of your past lives and what your soul contract is for the future. Listening to your higher self is the smartest thing any of us can do. Having that clear channel of communication allows you to have an undistorted conversation with your higher self, your spirit team, your ascendant master, source creator. That's how we develop these action plans based on celestial guidance instead of ego. It just takes a little courage and a whole lot of faith, right? Got to break some of the bad habits, reinforce the good, and maintain it, have a commitment to maintain it. So the self-care routine to protect your energy field, block all the negative energy, vampires, this requires taking an inventory. I have a video I did several months back called Take an Inventory of Your Life. This is not a one-time thing, but like doing it at least once is highly recommended. Once you do it, and as things evolve, because people are always ascending, whether they really want to or not, people are always being affected by your increasing frequency. If you've gone through and you've got your energy clear and you're going down the ascension path and you're doing your shadow work and you're doing all the things and your frequency is rising infinitely, the effect of a higher frequency on people of lower frequency is to pull them up. You don't have to say a word. They're in your energy field and they get lifted in frequency by just being near you. I've seen it happen time and time again. I'll encounter people where not everybody in the group is really in alignment, but by the end, they are. And it's not because of anything that I said or I asked of them. It was just the energy pulled them up to a higher frequency. So again, take an inventory. So how do you take inventory? Well, you got to have clear communication with your higher self and source creator. And you're going to say, is so-and-so in my highest and best good? Is so-and-so in alignment to source creator? Yes or no? For me, if I ask, is a being in alignment to source creator, and I get no. Is it in my highest and best good to interact with said being? No. Then that's the decision. I'm not going to go back and what if it? Because I like the kind of car they have, or I like going to their house because they have a pool. See, those are material attachments. Those are things that should not matter. What matters is the person's energy. If you're worried about an axe murderer, you should also be worried about the energy vampires in your life that you allow to come in and wreak havoc and set off bombs all over your family and dump a truckload of shit in your lap, and they walk away feeling better, and you're sitting there holding all the steaming pile of poo. Well, what are you going to do about it? I'm telling you from experience and from collective knowledge, it's not meant to be your life. It's not meant to be any sovereign soul's life to play that role. That is not in your highest and best good. And the only person that can change that is you. So if you or have allowed it, it is time for you to not allow it. And also, whenever you start pushing back, all of a sudden you're enforcing these healthy boundaries. All the people that have been taking advantage of you for all this time is not going to like it. And they're going to come at you. And they're going to hit you where they think that you're weak. And that's where you call on your spirit team. And you say, I know I've got a battle today, but it's a battle that I intend to win because my intentions are good. I'm going to maintain my sovereignty. I'm going to take my power back. I'm not going to let these people keep walking all over me. I'm not going to let them keep bringing me all their negative stuff, and then they take my energy and they leave me with all the crap to deal with. I'm not going to do it anymore. You are supported in that decision. It is a matter of, number one, believing that you are deserving of all the love, kindness, compassion, abundance, friendship, genuine friendship, and being courageous enough, having the faith to take the steps to ensure it. Now, you may have some time where those non-serving people, places, and things fall away from you because they were not meant to be in your energy field anyway. But as they fall away, you will attract those to you that are meant to be in your path. And then you're in a better position to accept that because you know now that that was not who you were meant to be back there, and this is. And you feel it in the core of your being. You know it because you, again, it's with a certainty. You know it. It's that soul truth. So shoring up your energy with daily clearing, daily shielding, defenses. So sometimes we do our inventory and we figure out that our sister's a black witch, a dark witch. Our brother might be a sorcerer, like whatever it is. You don't have to go and like literally push them off a cliff. You can just protect your energy field from their energy and determine whether you're going to interact with them much at all or how much. But in doing so, whether you're interacting with them physically or not, you'd want to put up a protective shield blocking that negative energy, because chances are when they send you something, it's not going to be positive. A lot of the times, those are the energy vampires in your life, right? A lot of times, those are the people that you just feel committed. You feel like you have to spend time with them because they're family. And every time you spend time with them, you feel horrible. Like, and some people get sick. Some people just feel energy drained. Some people get headaches, and they have a lot of these physical symptoms, and they don't put the two and two together. They think it's stress. Well, it is to a degree, but it's because you've allowed, again, these energy vampires to take all your light, all your power, all your energy, and make you feel like crap. And then go off feeling better because you supported their energy depletion. You leveled them up. So taking an inventory is the first step. Making proper action to enforce healthy boundaries is the second step. Following through, you got to do that with your team. A lot of us aren't strong enough in the beginning because it's something we've never done before, because we've been taught our whole life that we come last, right? So it's just not in your highest and best good. And that's for you to decide. I'm just giving you the tools to navigate it, to figure things out. So once you start to understand that you have within your being, whether you're male or female, divine feminine, divine masculine, and inner child, and they all deserve an equal seat at the table. They all have energy to give toward the successful completion of your mission and grounding that. Then you start to make choices that are more motivated to harmonious balance instead of one of those factions overtaking the rest. So you have more confidence in your choices and you feel at ease and more calm and peace because there's not this internal struggle. When there's balance in all things, no matter if it's energy or cups on the counter or whatever, when there's balance, there's ease. When it's imbalanced, there's dis-ease, disease. We've said this 1,000 times. Increasing your own confidence, increasing your own self-worth, self-love, compassion, healing, all that is very, very, very integral in understanding where you fall in terms of the mission. Like we said before, everybody's mission is super important. Knowing your role in the mission and not taking a back seat and letting your ego decide that it's not for you is really important because it's all a we mission. I don't have anything that I'm going to complete solely on my own. I mean, my energy work, I work with Kuan Yin, Mother Sophia, Poseidon, Source Creator, the Dragon. I mean, I'm never doing that alone. It's never just me, and it's never just you. We are successful together in the divine missions that we volunteered to come down here and complete together. Internally, you want to be as welcoming as you can and accepting, even though it may be something you never heard of before, that within your being, you have divine masculine, divine feminine, and the inner child that are equally energetic producers of your energy field. Having that be in equal balance equals harmony. If you're not giving attention to the inner child, or you're not giving attention to the divine masculine because you're divine feminine, and you just want to heal your inner child and you don't give two shits about men, that's ignorance. Within us are divine masculine and divine feminine characteristics, strengths that are welded together in the beauty that is the inner child. And that is how you get harmony, and that is how you have success in your mission. Most of the time, we are not in our matrix lives doing anything similar to what our actual divine mission is. But all of that experience lends in one way or another, either what to do or what not to do for the mission. You want to quiet the ego down. I say it, I harp on it. I'm sorry, but it's really a problem. It's the single biggest derailing effect of ascension, the ego. And it's a choice. We are allowing the ego to control us, or we're not. Like, just you make a choice. The ego is giving you, you're doubting your worth, you're doubting that your abilities, you're doubting whether this is really in your best interest because you're listening to the ego spin up all this chaos. In reality, if you're doubting anything, your spirit team wants you to ask, is this in my highest and best good? I thought I should do this, and now I'm not so sure. Ask your spirit team, because they are on the side of the divine. They are on the side of your incredibly powerful light being soul completing the mission that you volunteered for. So that is their objective, to get you to realize your power, not give it away, and do what's in your highest and best good, because that equals harmony and that equals success. You want to hold space for the expansion of your energy field. So once you get to this part where you are accepting and inviting the balance between those three energetic contributors, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and the inner child. Once you get there, you want to hold space for as expansive as that can be. And that grows over time as you are accepting it and integrating the upgrade and the higher frequency, and you're expressing source's will in a positive way, and you're seeing that it's coming back to you in this positive energy exchange, your energy field expands. It starts out about 6 feet in diameter, and then it just blossoms. Again, it's the ripple effect in the community, the ripple effect in your family, the ripple effect in your state, because of your expansive energy field being of high frequency and for the greater good. It in itself helps to elevate humanity. So that's why it needs to be protected. Number one, you fought too dang hard to get here, right? Think about all that we go through. As starseeds and lightworkers, we are targeted. We have an X on our back because we are a light being. We come in bright, and the darkness wants to take that, manipulate it, control it. They don't want us to ever figure out how powerful we are. 222 on the time. I want you to understand that your power is yours, divinely given to you from the beginning. You have always been worthy. You have always been capable. You now have the ability to access your abilities, your knowledge, your soul wisdom, your ascendant masters. Ascendant masters are many, many times beings that we incarnated as in a prior life or with in a prior life. They have excellent wisdom and knowledge about what we need, who we are. Who we are is who we are on a soul level, cumulative of all of our lives. Who we are is not the physical form that we took in this life. This is the temporary. This is the avatar. This is the player in the game, not who we are. Who we are is on a soul level. That's why your intentions matter. That's why if you're in service to others and you are in alignment to source creator and you are literally power and frequency, you're unstoppable. And that is what the controllers never wanted you to know. So you want to just hold space for that. You don't want to be in a little bitty box and prevent the exponential growth of your light and your frequency. And you want to spread your column of light. You want to have their energy be able to positively affect those in your energy field, right? It's been said before, and I've seen it. I'll get guidance to go to a new place, and I'll start to interact with people that I'd never met before. And in short order, there's these positive changes that start to take effect. And that's not even a conversation is had with them, other than just pleasantries. That is a direct reaction to my frequency being in there in my energy field, and I'm in theirs. So that totally negates the ego. That totally catches the ego by surprise, because the mind's not seeing it coming. It's a frequency, and that's a vibration, and that's felt in your chakras. That's felt in your energy core. So I personally get some satisfaction from that. When you ask your angels, your archangels, your ascendant masters, your guides, source creator, Mother Sophia, or your higher self. You can ask them anything. You ask for support, you can ask for guidance, you can ask for protection, you can ask for wisdom, you can ask for clarity. Some things we cannot know. And that tends to piss people off sometimes. I ask my higher self. I ask my higher self a question. My higher self give me the answer. Because your higher self is fully aware of what your mind can handle. And sometimes the truth, the answer to that question, is beyond what we can handle. Accepting that and moving on without trying to banter and wager, and no, that's not going to work. Some things we can't know. That's fine. Move on to the next, right? Always know. Just because you don't get an answer to a question doesn't mean they're giving up on you. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong either. You just move on down the line. Ask the next question. Go to the next issue. Whatever it is. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know I'm not ready for that yet. And I have more work to do. Not a big deal. Allowing that divine influence enable us to balance all of the divine feminine, divine masculine, and inner child energies is what is the byproduct of sitting your ego down. Because it feels good. It's going to be a draw to you on a soul level to do this, because it's going to bolster all the things that you knew deep down that was never confirmed before. And it's going to be very validating, very motivating. And you'll have this true grounding, central strength that you may have never felt before. The galactic and celestial support teams fully empower us to be grounded, confident, and enforce our boundaries. That is what we get rewarded for. We don't get rewarded by letting the ego drive. We don't get rewarded by letting karmic relationships run our life, because a karmic relationship is not meant to last lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. That's only the divine relationship. If you're in a karmic relationship with a spouse, a partner, a business partner, you are understanding from source creator that that is a karmic relationship. It is not meant to last. Why? See, for me, in my mind, I'm not going to sit around and just wait for that to fizzle out. I'm taking the lead. Did I learn everything I need to learn from this karmic relationship? Yes. Okay. And I take care of it. Detach, remove the negative cord, heal the attachment, move on. Not meant to be with me anymore. I'm evolving. It's not. They go their way, I go mine. Feels good. Try it. The karmics and the ego and the energy vampires, they really only bring chaos to your life. So, I mean, there are people that love chaos. There are people that love chaos. If you are one of those people and you have a soul, you have a lot of work to do. Chaos is low vibration, no matter how you look at it, because it's fear, shame, blame, guilt, victim mentality. All of that is producing low vibration. So you may feel this energy rush because your heart rate goes up, but your heart rate's going up because your soul is telling you, your body is telling you, this is not the path for us. And your ego is telling you, but it's so much fun, let's keep doing it. Free will choice. When you know better, you do better. So moving away from the ego being in charge, moving away from the karmics, moving away from the energy vampires, and forcing the healthy boundaries. We got to determine what a healthy boundary is, right? And then you got to enforce it. And that's hard for people. They don't want to hurt someone's feelings, or I don't know. They want it to be something that it's just not, you know. That's okay. I'm not saying go out there and hurt everybody's feelings. I guess that's my point. But my point is, where do you fall in this equation? Why are you considering what other people feel who have only ever taken from you and left you feeling worse for however long, why do they matter more than you? Why are they more worthy of consideration than you? Because you've been told that. But that doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's what's in your highest and best good. So whenever you decide to put yourself first in alignment for compassion and healing and kindness and love and giving the inner child all of the ability to heal and thrive, then that's where the marriage between the divine feminine and the divine masculine come together. And you have an equal balance of all three energetic contributors, your inner child, your divine feminine, and your divine masculine. And that is where you find peace. That is where you find peace. That is where you are in alignment. That's where you are harmonious in your energy and your frequency is infinite. Again, a little bit of courage and a whole lot of faith. Ask any questions of your spirit team. And I don't mean any. I mean, there's some people in our in my ground crew that comes up with some amazing questions. I'm like, how did you even think of that? All of our abilities are different. We all bring something to the table that is a strength that maybe I never even recognized. I didn't even know that existed, you know, and that's the beauty of it. It's, again, not a me mission. It's a we mission. And we, Starseeds and Lightworkers, on a soul level, we put our hand up and we said, pick me. I will not let you down. I will not fail you. I will not fail me. We will help elevate humanity and lead into new earth, Punamatea. We will show how we can do this as a people that don't have to be forced into extinction for the planet to ascend. You just got to do a little bit of work. And you might have to get rid of some freaking apps on your phone that's delivering negative AI. You might have to calculate something like old-fashioned way. I don't know. You might have to turn your own lights on. You might have to lock your own doors. It's seriously just a matter of what is in your highest and best good. If we are continuing as a people to realize that giving all of our power away to apps and devices and other negative AI leads to destruction, if we can wake up from that and understand that it is not a negative thing to do some work, it is not a negative thing to take care of ourselves before we try to take care of others. And it's not a negative thing to communicate with our guides, our ascendant masters, our source creator, Mother Sophia, our higher self, because it is exactly what a lot of people say that they go to church for. So you can't have it both ways. That's what I say to that. You can't have it both ways. Either we are in divine communication with our source creator or we are not. Simple as that. And they're always there for you. Always. Law of consent. Ask them, call them in, and you have all the help and support. I say it because I've done it. I've lived it. And I'm not the only one. Hundreds of people have gone through these same trials and tribulations, navigated the same course, and came to the same realization. Why? Because it's the truth. The truth doesn't have versions. The truth is just the truth, no matter how you come here. So, understand, first of all, that you are deserving of healthy boundaries. Define your healthy boundaries by identifying people. Take your inventory of your inner circle. And this is persons, places, and things. So it can be work family. It can be nuclear family. It can be the community. It can be school. It can be whatever. If you're, it can be the channels you watch on YouTube or Telegram or whatever. If you're inviting and participating in an energy exchange, you're giving them your time and attention and they're giving you whatever they're giving you. Are they in alignment to source creator? And is it in your highest and best good to do blah, blah, blah? Two simple questions that can change the trajectory of your life. if you have the courage and the faith. And it takes a whole lot more faith than you could possibly imagine to continue to choose Source Creator when you're surrounded by people who don't even acknowledge his existence. So this message came through in a big way. It had to be delivered. It had to be. I want you to know that I went over 3 times every single word that you heard me say with my spirit team. And I feel like it's going to hit some people square between the eyes. Maybe it'll hit you in the heart. I don't know. Maybe you feel like you got a big kick in the butt. I'm not sure. But this was the message that had to be delivered today. Thank you. I'm here to help you. In the description box of this video, you'll have Healing Disclosures on Telegram. That's our general landing spot. If you are interested in any and all things Healing Disclosures, come there. If you already know that you would benefit from a quantum energy transformation session, I'm going to have the link to that room. That's where you come in and ask to go ahead and schedule because you've been watching me and you understand where we are. You can also ask questions about QET sessions in that room. We have a lot of people that are in there that have had them, and they are the best, testimonies because they've been there and they've done that. I did it too. Mine was with another energy healer, though. Mine was with Poseidon. And so whenever you're in the QET room and you're asking questions, you're actually talking to people that I have done QET sessions on. And then keep watching my videos because everything that is on my platform is divinely guided. And if there was a video on my platform that is no longer on my platform, that was divinely guided too. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time on Healing Disclosures.